We are now about to do our Canto 7 tier list, and we're doing this right before the Canto 8 drops. When you see this, Canto 8's probably already out, but that changes nothing, okay? So I'm gonna give you my realist, unfiltered opinion. It's probably gonna ruffle some feathers, but you're gonna have to ride the wave here, okay? If I were just a regular PM fan, I'm like, oh my god, everyone's S tier, but that's not what we're doing here today. That's not what we're doing here. I'm giving you the real, the raw, the absolute based tier list Limbus company fans have ever seen, okay? So not everyone's gonna be in the perfect S tier, okay? Not everyone is gonna be like, oh my god, everyone's just such an amazing character and they all have such depth. I'm gonna let you know which ones are great, which ones are terrible. You may agree, you may disagree, but I'm gonna let you know right now. We're gonna find out what the real answer is. So without further ado, let's get this tier list going here and let's see who made the cut, shall we? So to start the tier list off, you may have noticed something. You may have noticed that we are here to just kind of like cut the BS. We're gonna cut the fluff, okay? We're not at amazing character. We're not in perfect in every way. There is a new tier unlocked for one person and one person only, and it is gonna be Faust. Let's just get it out the way. We got the absolute flawless tier. Nothing else matters. That's where it's gonna go. I am 100% objective and based in my decision, and this is where Faust needs to be and probably has always ever been, but I've really had to wait until now to let you know that she is in flawless tier, all right? I'm just gonna let you know right now. Could that change in Canto 8? Maybe. What's higher than flawless? I'm sure we'll figure it out, but that's for the next tier list. Regardless, let's get it out the way here. So what's gonna happen here is we are going to start this off by not doing the main sinners. We're gonna work around the sinners, and then we're gonna do the sinners last in this tier list, okay? So we are gonna have, I think Paula, I think this is Paula. Someone told me in chat it was Paula. I forget. They weren't that important to me, if I'm being 100% honest with you. They had some good points. I vaguely remember them, and if I'm being 100% honest with you, I am putting you in the meh. You know, I lied. No, I didn't. You're a meh character. I'm sure you did something cool. I'm sure someone fell in love with you, but honestly, you're just so forgettable. You were just so forgettable. I have nothing for you. You know, this guy was so annoying. What was his name? What was this guy's name? I don't even know what this guy's name was. I just know that he was just super annoying the entire time of La Mancha Land. Hugo? Hubert? Hugo? Okay, thanks, chat. I could have lived without him. I didn't need it. I didn't need it. I'll put him in the mid because he did help kind of change some of the tempo of the story a little bit to break it up, and it was dumb. It was all just super dumb. I think he did his job for what he was there for. Was he quite meh? Not exactly, but he's super mid at best. And you know, we'll leave it there. All right, so next up we have Bari, and I totally did not forget their name, and I totally didn't have chat telling me that, and you totally can't see it under my picture here of chat telling me the name of this character. I totally knew top of mind because I'm such a fan. This character, I do remember them in the story though. In the story, they were a huge plot point with Don Quixote, the actual Don Quixote, and they were actually god tier and goated, and there was a dope scene with them doing like the dual wielding blades and then the bow and arrow and all the other really cool stuff. And then they had some really like banger lines to like move the story forward. I would go as far as saying, as far as Bari is concerned, I would drop them in the amazing character. I was actually a huge fan, but you're like, oh, how much could you really like them if you didn't remember? Shut up. I remember. Okay, there's like a quote that's like, you know, people may forget what you did, but how you made them feel is what they remember. You know, same energy here. Also, I knew them for like a Canto, so you know, whatever. And it was a little bit ago, and here we are. I digress. I think that as far as what they did in the story and how they did it and some of the animations that we got, I really hope that we get an ID of this character because it was actually pretty sick with what they were pulling off. Big fan, big fan of Bari, and you know, hopefully they do something to bring them back. Who is this guy, chat? It's like every other picture, just like these random MFers, dude. I don't even, I forget the masked dude who was doing Sanson. That is right. That is right. That is right. That is definitely right. Okay. Okay. We got Sanson here. And I also remembered this guy 100%. Do not let anyone in chat tell you that I didn't remember this guy's name, because he was super important for like the better half of the Canto. Regardless, as a character, I found him mildly annoying and almost weirdly like overly busted, where like no one could touch him, no one could check him. But I guess he's a part of like the god tier Avengers that they're building for this massive like endgame war that's gonna go down. I don't know, but like he just couldn't be checked the entire time. Really annoyed me. I feel like they didn't really show too much. Like they showed him as a character, but they didn't give me a lot to really hold on to, other than he had his gripes with like the world and stuff around him. But I thought he was mid. I thought he was mid, mostly annoying. I don't even know if I'd go as far as saying he was a good character. I thought he was just mid. I just was not impressed by him. And when I did see him, I just was annoyed. I was just genuinely annoyed as a character of who that was. So there's that. Soncho. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Soncho is what I wish Don Quixote would have been. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. Soncho had depth. Soncho had trauma. Soncho had a lot of different things to her that, like, when they were doing a side-by-side comparison of the two, I'm like, oh my God. The fact that I found out, spoiler alert, that Don was Soncho, I just was like, oh my God, that's insane, you know? Like, Soncho is Don. Let me finish, chat. Let me finish. When I found out that Don was Soncho, I was like, oh my God, that is what made me give wiggle room to Don, because that was in her, you know? That dog was in her. Because of that. And they're like, oh my gosh, but then we had the memory wipe and Rochinante and nasty ass crusty feet. This was so crazy. Oh my God. Don't care. Do not care. You know, someone said I was missing the point. I understood the point. The point wasn't big enough for me, okay? Were there big moments that happened technically with Don, aka Soncho, with the fight with the Don Quixote? Yes. Were they very impactful? Yes. But I would go as far as saying how this tier list is being done. There's a difference between Don Quixote and Soncho. Because these pictures are here, the discrepancy, here we are. So I'm gonna go and put Soncho in the amazing character category here, which is wild. Because what I do not feel the same way about Don. I do not feel the same way about Don. But that's for later on. That's for later on. The real Don Quixote. The real Don Quixote. Now, I feel like the real Don Quixote, the #1 blood fiend, you know, Kaguya from Naruto themselves, the originator of Borderline, all of it, within reason. He had a lot of character development, in my opinion. I really liked Don Quixote, like a lot. You know, he went from like, no, I'm just a blood fiend, get out of my face, to, you know what, I dare to dream, to, oh my God, we're going for our dreams and we're shooting for the moon and landing amongst the stars, to, oh my God, everyone just betrayed me, to, oh my God, freaking cut my life into pieces, this is my last resort, to like an Evanescence song about depression. And he just had gone through so much to the point where he basically had just given up, to having a full circle there with the, you know, our Don, not his Don, full circle moment with them. It was just truly the story of this Don Quixote was just, I thought it was an amazing story. I would put that literally right up here in the first slot for the amazing character category with Don Quixote. I was genuinely a huge fan of that dude. I was genuinely a huge fan. 10 out of 10 would recommend. You know, spoiler alert for anybody. I don't know. I said it once or twice. It's fine. If you're at this point, you don't even care. The fact that they took his body, I feel like we haven't seen the end of him. And I'm looking forward to that reuniting situation here with him and Don. That's gonna go so hard. I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my jellies. We got the content creator extraordinaire, Camille, the Kai Cenat of Limbus Company. We got the one, the only like and subscribe Camille here. It was really cool how they made us do the 1v1 against him to like really show us that he was him. And what really made me sad was that we didn't get like a end of Canto 1v1, Don being like, I found out who I really am, fight me again, bro, so I can like show you my real power. He just kind of like got off screen, and that kind of pissed me off a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. People really loved Camille. I thought he was just okay. If I'm being honest with you, I didn't think that Camille was like that gripping of a character. And then the fact that he just got off screen was just like not wonderful. I was really hoping they would do more with his character personally. He just had such a strong start before we went into La Mancha Land. And that just, I don't know, that was just it. Like he burnt out too soon, in my opinion. I would go as far as saying that Camille, just because he was so unique, I want to give him mid, but he was a good enough character. He was a very unique character. He did what he was supposed to do. He kind of like, you know, moved the plot along and everything. He was not too bad. Someone in chat said that they love him as a meme. To be honest, they do. Like he was a good meme. He was ahead of his time, honestly. He was a good character. Was he an amazing character? No. Was he great, flawless? No. But he was good. He was good. But like, I objectively cannot give him anything higher than a pretty good character, personally. So now this brings us to our main cast here. So now we have, with the exception of the flawless tier, all the other side characters have now been pretty much done. So let's go ahead and get this moving here, shall we? So with Yi Sang in Canto 7, the hard part is that not everybody got an equal amount of like screen time in this Canto, which is fair. It wasn't about everybody. But I think that with Yi Sang, just good character, man. He's at the point now where he's all cracking jokes and stuff, you know, and even going into the Intervolo, which I'm kind of putting that in here as well. You know, like no one can say ideal, you know, without him, you know, pop it in there just trying to make like a dad joke. Like he's really starting to come alive here, and he has been since his Canto, and it's been slowly crescendoing as time goes on. So I've been kind of a fan of Yi Sang as of late. He's still dark, broody, and deep, and you know, putting out words that just shouldn't exist in the English language. But that's for another episode, you know. Don Quixote, actual Don Quixote, and again, this Don Quixote is memory wipe Don Quixote before they found out that it was Soncho, the racist Don Quixote. Death to all blood fiends. I don't even like your kind sitting next to me in this La Mancha Land. That Don Quixote. So the entire time, it almost just showed like she was still on brand with her truth, justice, and everything in between. But like, if I'm being honest, it's Don. I don't know. I feel like with Don, memes aside, okay? Memes aside, chat, memes aside. I do think that Canto 7 brought some more energy and more depth to her character. Okay? The fact that she like genuinely hated something that was like, you know, kind of new to a degree, because usually she'll hate someone for being, you know, like an evil doer, but blood fiends, they just out here, some of them were just kind of vibing, but you know, because they had brothers or sisters or uncles and cousins that were blood fiends, they all had to go. Crazy side of her, you know? And as time kind of goes on, I feel like she's calming down while also still being true to herself. In the past, I would put her in the like meh character. The mid character it's kind of like a safe pick. I would now put Dawn under the like, oh god, I'd put her as a good character. I think Dawn's a good character. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. I think I'm gonna be sick, chat. Oh, I think I'm gonna be sick. I think I'm gonna be sick. I think I'm gonna be sick. If anyone outside of this tier list video would have ever called me on this, I'm gonna deny it. I'm just gonna deny it. I think I might have a stroke, chat. Yeah, I'm going down. Okay, that's fine. We can make it through the video. Enough happened in Canto 7 that made me realize there was some more to depth, not just her being Soncho, but once she realized that she was getting her memories back and everything like that, there was just a lot more to them. The final battle, there's some actual tears, Dawn's actually crying, it's a whole thing. And then now, as Dawn kind of has her memories now, even going into the intervolos, she's like, ah, yes, the young Faust, let me tell you. Like, it's just, she's leaning into her age, and it's so silly, and it's just a different level of silly. And it's not just like, you know, at first I would say that Dawn gave you like Family Guy funny, where it was just slapstick, look at me, I fell down, you know, like it was kind of that type of comedy. But now she's leaning more into her, like, you know, her auntie era, basically, and I find that I can resonate more with that, and I find that a lot more funny and a lot more goofy, silly, and she's even acting more wise than Yi Sang, which is kind of killing me in itself too. So she made some progress in my book. Whatever. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I'm done. I'm sick. I think I'm gonna have to vomit after this video. Ryoshu. I think Ryoshu is still, if I had to say, one of the coolest sinners in the entire group. Like, she just aura farms absolutely crazy. Don't even get me started on the new ID where she's in that freaking Heishu pack or whatever. It just, the rupture ID, it's so good. It's just so freaking good. Not a whole lot happened with Ryoshu. She was still just out here just talking shit, splitting people's faces open with her sword and everything, just doing what she does best, you know. She's always been a good character. And I would go as far as saying that, like, I'd put her like, all right, I need to like put these characters a little bit higher up here. All right, cool. So yeah, she's just a good character. Just a really good character. I mean, I put her in the amazing. She didn't do anything this Canto, but like, good freaking character. Mersault, I would also throw him in the good character category as well. My dude is just so solid. You know, I lied. He's an amazing character. He didn't dip from 6. He's just so consistent. And he's just so good. He's just so good. He's everything you need. And he's just like slowly breadcrumbing more of his personality into what he's got going on here. And I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Mersault here. Honglu, hanging out more with his sister, learning more about his family. We're again going to be playing Canto 8 here pretty soon. And towards the end of 7 and going into the intervolo, you really realize how depressed he is and why he is the way he is. We don't get too many answers on that, but like essentially the depression really kind of hits home when his sister was just kind of like, man, you're still like this. There's a lot happened. You haven't changed. You made some friends, but you're still. I'm like, oh my God, I need to know what happened. And the more we learn about him, I say it, I'm gonna put him in the upper echelon of the good characters. But I feel like whenever we go into this next Canto, I think he's gonna have a solid spot in amazing character category. And I'm very much so looking forward to it. I'm very much so looking forward to what Honglu's got for us in this next Canto. Which now brings us over to Heathcliff. Man, did I hate this MFer so bad. I hated this MFer so bad it wasn't even funny. But he came around a little bit. It was the intervolo before his Canto. Kathy did him dirty, bro. Like, yeah, he's an idiot. He's a moron. He could have handled things differently. Kath, God, she did him so dirty, bro. And it was in that moment where I realized you can't bully him, only I can bully him. And I was like, oh my God, I think I love him. And he's just one of the homies for real, you know? He's just a certified lover boy, you know? And chat's saying who? You're right. I don't even know who I'm talking about. She's not even real. The helps. My bad, guys. My bad. But no, I'm putting him in the good character. There's a lot of good characters. Like, they're not, in my opinion, they're not like really standing out. they're not mid, but they're not amazing. They're like right there. They're like right freaking there. But what I will say though is I am going to throw Ishmael in the amazing character category. Still as resilient as ever. Team captain, absolutely flawless in just how she can lead the team here, and cool, calm, collected even after she had lost her goddamn mind in her Canto. But with all of those different personality choices of hers that she was willing to show all of us during all that, made me really enjoy her as a character even more. And also after all of that, she really has grown, and now she's like, listen, I used to hate you guys because of how much chaos was going down. Now I'm here for it. I'm here for the vibes. I'm just gonna sit back. Sometimes I'll have to grit my teeth, but for the most part, I'm for the hodgepodge group that we got going on here. Big fan, big fan. Radia. So with Radia, I feel like Radia has always been the icebreaker of the group. She brings different energy to every situation that she's in, whether she kind of like is like, oh my god, I'm getting a little nervous, which then, you know, if Radia is getting nervous, it's getting to that point. We need to calm down a little bit. But if she's like, it's not a big deal, she's giving everyone nicknames, we're kind of just vibing, like she brings the energy every single time. This Canto was not about her, but even when freaking Soncho, aka Dawn, at some point, no matter who we were talking to, it was like she was trying to just like calm everyone down. She was being Mama Bear, the voice of reason. And the more I see of Radia, the more I'm like, you know what? Do I think she's an amazing character? I think she might be. I think I love her character. In a lot of situations, there's no energy if there's no Radia, you know? And I would put her ahead of this. Here we go. Definitely needs more love. Sinclair. Man, Sinclair, bro. What do I even say about Sinclair? So other than the fact that he's a baby back, I just don't know what to say, man. He's starting to come into his own a little bit in Canto 7, where I was like, oh my god, is he developing a spine? Is he developing a backbone? And it was like the middle of Canto 7 where I was like, oh my god, like he's actually becoming like an adult a little bit. He's not like running around as scared as he usually does in situations. And I had noticed that it was getting a little bit better than the Canto before, but now I'm like, wait a minute. I would say that he has transitioned from a meh character to a mid character, but he's gonna be 100% behind this side character. So he's not great. He's not even good, but he's gotten better. He's mid. Sinclair is just mid. We are gonna have ourselves here in Otis. Otis 110% pisses me off, and it wasn't always that way. At first I was like, oh, okay, she's kind of okay in the first few cantos, and then as time kind of goes on, it's like I learned to just hate her in a really weird way. And I'm sure maybe her Canto will give more insight of what she has going on, and then that'll kind of like, you know, give us more of what's happening with Otis. But like, you don't even know who she is. She's just dark, but then she's also a suck up. But then she also is like, you know, has these really weird bouts of confidence, but she doesn't have like real confidence. And there's just, the more I learn about her, even during the intervals before Canto 8, she's not a person. She's genuinely not a person, and I hate her. So why are you even a character? I'm going to go as far as dropping you. No, that's not fair. Meh. I'll put you in the meh category. I'll leave you there behind the Zwei associate individual. You're just meh. You were going further down the tier list, in my opinion, with every single Canto, and you could spike at any moment. But as of right now, I just don't like you. I don't know what you are. I don't even know what you're trying to be. And if anything, all you are is just annoying. That's how I look at Otis here. Gregor, my beloved, my cool, calm, collected man who, even when he's not cool, calm, collected, he'll crack a joke to ease the tension. He is just the everyday man. He is just a regular guy. He's just a chill guy, you know? If an ID dropped of him just being a chill guy, I would spend so much money on it. With that being said, this Canto, he was still just being his chill guy self, doing the best he can, just kind of living his life. You know, he Intervolo, his bones were just cracking and he still didn't figure out what the answer was. He's just old. And honestly, it's kind of my spirit animal. I'm gonna go ahead and put Gregor in the front spot here of an amazing character. I love Gregor so much. He is such a good character. He is such a great character, and he just airtight, and he doesn't like waver. He doesn't like falter. He's just reliable. Love him so much. Love him so much. Now we got good old Dante. Funnily enough, I would also put him in, I would say, the amazing character category here, and I would put him behind, like in front of Radia, but behind Ishmael, because he's really coming into his own as a manager here, and he's kind of getting more confident with what he can accomplish and what he cannot accomplish and what he can do to move the needle forward. And I love how even when things are looking grim, he'll just crack a joke, just kind of like sit back and like, you know what, let's figure it out. But he is becoming a better manager every single Canto, and I'm here for it. I already liked him before, but as time goes on, it only gets any better. And the way that I look at this guy is like, you know, I'm the main character, and he kind of feels like how I would act basically in these situations as well. So I really resonate with Dante. We got ourselves here Captain Vroom Vroom herself. She just doesn't do a whole lot. I'm gonna put her in a confident mid character. You know, it's just, I don't know. She doesn't do anything. She just doesn't do anything. And as time goes on, she just does even less. And I don't want to put her any higher because of how funny it was during the April Fool's event. But she doesn't do anything. She just doesn't do anything. So I'll leave her there. She's just mid. She's just mid. She kind of just keeps like going down. Like she just does less and less, which is fair. She's not meant to be anything. I don't know. But we have, last but not least, Captain Carey himself. Whenever you just cannot get the job done, you can rely on Dad to show up and get the job done here for you. Virgilus is just an actual god. And I still feel so bad because I was just talking so much trash up until these moments where he showed up and showed us why he was basically Goku. Great character. Great character. And then it's like, but he peaks and valleys though. He ranges from, oh my god, he's freaking Goku and he's so strong, he's such a god, he actually cares about us. And then it's like, oh, but he's Goku, he doesn't really do very much outside of his big moments, and then that's just kind of it. He just chills it. So I want to put him in amazing category, but I'll put him in the back. I'll put him in the back of that. They really, again, with like Don Quixote, Soncho, Bari, they really brought it with a lot of these characters, which is why the amazing feels kind of bloated, because they really fleshed out these characters. As time kind of goes on, I can see everyone kind of getting into a really good spot here towards the middle. No one will ever touch Faust because that's just kind of how it goes. Don't get me started when she got disconnected from the freaking, oh my god, bro, it made me love her even more. She was just such an amazing character, so much depth. Who is she? What is she going through? What is happening here, bro? We will never find out, but when we do, it'll literally change the gaming industry. But that's just me. I don't know. But this is 100% where I'm going to leave it for the Canto 7 tier list. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree? Do you disagree? What would you change? What would you not change? And honestly, if you're like, hey, bro, I'm kind of cooked, just put based in the comments section. That's fine too. You know, just let me know how much I cooked, you know? I'm kind of the Gordon Ramsay when it comes to Limbus company, if I do say so myself, you know? But that's just me. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, make me look really, really cool in the section below, and let me know your thoughts. Thanks.